All right. Yeah, I'm back. Hey guys. Um, this is one of those moments where I just wanted to stream and share some, kind of like a chill sort of thing update, especially when you're looking at Hunter x Hunter, which, as people around this channel know, is one of my favorite kind of like mediums pastimes. I love the series. Um, And once I try to do like somewhat on a quarterly basis. It's not going to be exact, but I'll post something for the channel a couple times a year, checking in about the series. I like to go to the Reddit, look at some topics that people present, some ideas, and then just chat about it. Not really anything too crazy. But tonight we're gonna also have a little bit of this, a little bit of sake tonight, and let's do that. All right. A little sake. Kampai. Yes, I'm using a Finland shot glass. A relative went on a trip and actually got this for me. And it was like, oh, thanks. I've never been to Finland, but I appreciate the shot glass. Try to get me to go. So let's do it. I'll have the streaming software up as well. Actually, I could do a thing where I like have the Reddit in one. Yeah, it's too late now. I could have had the Reddit open. You know what? I could still even do that. Hang on. Let's do that instead. No. When will the series return? Oh my gosh. I want to say this is gonna hurt to say, probably winter or spring of next year. I think kind of like March, April. I think that's what we're looking at. The other thing that we don't know yet. This is where it is really uncertain. It's the format is not going to be weekly. They're going to be doing. A lot of people think it's going to be like a monthly or a quarterly style in a large volume release where it's like 40, 50, 60 pages of content, not 10 chapters worth of content. I mean, if they were to really per year, let's say that per year there's like a quota that this guy, Togashi, has to do at least 100 pages. So we could get like 25 to 30-ish pages a chapter, like the big chapter release that they're going to do. Like it might be twice as long as a traditional Hunter x Hunter chapter, and we get that like 4 or 5 times a year. It's not, the problem is we don't know how they're going to do it and how large the releases are going to be. If they're just going to release regular chapters every like 3 months, that's going to suck. I don't know what they're going to do. So while we got the I think there was a Reddit picture, a X picture, a Twitter picture of Togashi with a chapter page. Like he was back to like making storyboards or something, but it's not clear with the new editing process and the release process when and how it's going to be. So I would say hold out until even late 2024. And don't be shocked if it takes a while into next year for us to get content again. The new way of releasing chapters is what's throwing me off. I don't know how they're going to do it and agree to it, and how much they've already done. If Togashi has made 30, 40 pending chapters with just some finishing up to do, that could easily be converted into a profitable workflow. And again, the publication wants the supply. So they need to have that ready to publish. That's the question. So we'll see. Yeah, at any other time you want to talk about any other topics, throw them up. Yeah, I have the chat on tonight, so I'll be reading this as we go along. But I thought I would also go through the Reddit, just talk about random stuff. Sometimes you find some interesting topics in here, and you can just like find some interesting ideas. Let's get started. And yeah, chime in if anyone who's out there wants to chat, feel free. Why did Gone wait until his arm was blown off? Didn't he have to? He had to kick him, right? That was the whole. Didn't he have to kick him so that he could injure him, so that he could use the setup? Right? Am I missing something? Am I missing something? Because this was after. Yeah, this was after the kick to the face. He had to. That's why he sacrificed his arm. Am I forgetting something? He wanted to get a hit off on him. I think like he wanted to prove himself and actually injure the guy. It was never about like dousing him with gasoline and running away, and putting him in the hole with the boulder. It was never the point. I think, yeah, Gon got really. He knew this was his father's island. He wanted to prove himself. Yeah, there's the arm blown off, and he wanted to damage him just to make sure that the job was truly done. And this was also Togashi foreshadowing Gon's selfishness. This was the first real sign that Gon was becoming more self-centered. And it would lead to the whole Pito thing and the self-sacrifice. But this was the start. So Togashi clearly wanted for Gon to have a tragic end, kind of like tragedy at the end of his power journey. So here is really where the conflict begins. This is the point. So Togashi took a narrative choice, and he said, "This is when I'm going to start showing Gon's selfishness." And like, he's not just listening to his friends and his teammates. He's like, I want to prove myself. I want to do something my way, and so I think it was when he started to really get into that idea. So yeah, well, that one, what's interesting is like, I would be interested if we see Razor, any of the Greed Island founders involved in the story going forward, outside of Jing, of course. It would be interesting. I know like Razor is bound to that island, like he's kind of just like, that's his life's work with Jing's, blessing. He's like, you got to stay here and oversee the island, basically. But the story could take a turn. Who knows? I always like fan art. I'm not going to take too long. I'm not really here to like criticize art or fan art, but I mean, this is one of the greatest like manga covers. Like, this is like a biblical. Like, the way he drew Marina here, like, she looks so real. Like, people were just commenting about this cover spread. Like, wow. I mean, if they could make a live action, let's put it this way: if the One Piece team could like do Hunter x Hunter the right way, do I have enough faith in the One Piece Netflix team to do Hunter x Hunter? What's funny? Hunter x Hunter probably translates really well to live action. Because it's one of the more grounded series. Yes, there's creatures and abilities and places that look like Kokoro Mountain. Like, what the hell is that? But yeah, you just take like you CGI a little bit of forest and a big mountain in the back. Like, it's not. You can take an actual mountain and just like put some CGI on it, but you can get the full experience. It's a very grounded story, and I actually feel like they could do a great job translating it. Like the Heaven's Arena stuff, it could be a TV series. Like, I think Hunter x Hunter would, of course, in the right hands. Like the One Piece Netflix crew, they did it right. Is it the greatest thing ever written? No. But One Piece has its own flaws. There's some incredible highs, and then there's some like kind of goofy, cliched moments. Who cares? Like, it's a fun story, and the team knew the assignment and they did it right. When I went off, I'm going on a little tangent. I'm sorry. When I went off on Cowboy Bebop, I have a video up on my channel from a couple years ago when it came out. Holy shit! Did I went like 30 minutes ripping into that fucking thing. It was such a disgrace. The writing team just shat all over Cowboy Bebop and said, fuck the original work and the author's intention. Like, fuck what was incredible. Like, spit in Legacy. The One Piece team did it right. They honored the original. They got blessings from the creator who was involved. I think Oda was involved to a degree and oversaw a lot of things. He apparently was even in dialogue, and I think like some of the snails they used, the handheld snails, which aren't in the original, he was like, I like that idea. And like when you're working with a writing team and coming up with ideas, that's how it's supposed to be done. You take the ideas, you look at it with the creator's intent and apply it to the real world. And that's exactly what the One Piece team did on the whole. It was, they honored what the spirit of the work was. And in some ways, I think they told a more relatable story. Like, I feel like Garp and Mihawk are better. Kobe is better in the live action in terms of me caring, like me giving a shit. That's just me, though. I think that's how well they use their resources and ideas. Let's get back to Hunter x Hunter because I am rambling on too much about that. Oh, Silent Majority. Ha! Oh, look, Silent Majority's back. This is a meme. This is one of the biggest memes of the manga arc. Is Silent Majority? Get the fuck out of here! It's gonna be like one chapter. We're gonna find out who it is when they get effed off. They get axed. Like it's gonna pop out. Oh, and then just freaking Biscuit destroys it. Like the Nen user. Like, come on, man. It's going to be something stupid. I actually have a theory. Now that I've like somewhat started to get back into looking at the Hunter x Hunter story, I think that Kacho's Nen Beast might help with the Silent Majority crap. Just a theory. I don't know why, but like I think that Kacho's Nen Beast could really help get to the user, and it's that like Larini or whatever I think one of the maids uses it or something. So we'll see. Hey, JRPG, what's going on? I think next year is the return of Togashi. It's some kind of start over. Yeah, it's definitely next year. I mean, because I think by now we would have gotten announcements for the end of the holiday season. It's next year. And traditionally, I think when he does the spring release, it's around March, April-ish. The publications also, they look at times a year very strategically. So it's not always up to Togashi. It's also like how much they have to work with and release. But then they also like they want to use a time of year like, if the chapters are coming out and it's holiday or in Japan, I don't know the holiday schedule, but there's things that they choose to do with releasing. I mean, that's how publications work. It's rarely, just release it in a random week in February and there's no holiday until May. Like they want to release it more around like happy moments of the year, right? So I don't know. And other things they're releasing, they have to fit it into a schedule. So yeah, I kind of talked about it earlier in the stream, but we have to see how they publish it and how much content they release at one given time. If they're doing a quarterly, monthly, I hope for monthly. If we get 12 chapters a year and they're big 20 to 30 page chapters, I really think that's the best as fans that we can ask for. Give us monthly chapters. I would take that every single day. Like be grateful for what we could get. Now, if it's 3 chapters every 6 months, it's like it's going to be worse than it was. So if you think about it, like, but you get it yearly, it's going to be interesting. So we'll see. Morel smoke is visible to non-awakened individuals. First of all, I've always been the believer, and I don't know if it was ever. Oh, it's JRPG at what magazine? I guess so. Jump Square. You know better than me. I am not an expert on the manga publications. I'm thinking like publications in general, but you may know more than me about the publication itself. We have this idea here that his smoke is not real smoke. I've always thought that it's real smoke, and that's why he uses a pipe. Some people think it's just a pipe as a condition, but I think he actually smokes. Like I think the idea is he manipulates a huge thing of smoke. Like he puts like 5 pounds of kush in that pipe, and maybe like the kush is. Maybe the fuel source is conjured. I don't know, but the smoke, something is burning in there to give him smoke. I don't know. Like, people have never seen him light it, and that's why, like, he unwrapped it and was smoking immediately, and that's why people think, like, yeah, he's not. But maybe the pipe is a conjuration, and it produces real smoke inside. And then, there's like you can get creative with Aura, and Morel's the level of character where he could branch into even like conjuration, which is usually a little bit weaker for him, but it doesn't matter. And transmutation, he could do it. So I don't think this is too crazy. People say like, of course it's not Aura. It isn't conjuration. He's using a real pipe, and he's a manipulator. Oh, and one other theory I wanted to say, he definitely enhanced his lungs. I mean, if people don't realize, I think he used some sort of lung enhancement. I know it's not a great category for him as well, but even at I think it's 40%, he could have specialized his lung capacity with enhancement. I would not be surprised. There's no other character that does what he does. It's a special skill. So he definitely enhanced his lung capacity. There's no human that can do that. He sucked all of the air out of a building. Like that's the amount of air. Do you think about? You could probably fill a hot air balloon with like this guy. Like he inhaled that much fucking air. Like what the fuck? So yeah. We'll go back here. We all love Ahsoka. I don't need to read anything about opinions like that. Some more interesting stuff, no offense. Aura synthesis and Razor. Well, I mean, you'd get a little boost. I mean, it would be a boost. It wouldn't be like getting the guards, but it would be good. Well, wait a second. So you're saying his devil ability with Merowyn's power, they'd be fucking disgusting. They'd probably be near a royal guard. Probably not as strong, but close. I mean, they would be well within Phantom Troop territory, I think. If he also had pure mastery over the devils. But let's just say he learned how to do it. I know it's not like Jing, but let's just say for shits and giggles, he could learn how to do devils. I mean, it's a cool idea, right? And he did use Poop and Yoopie's abilities, right? I was like, yeah, of course he could. They were both sad for different reasons. I mean, Killua was the more emotional character, but Gon, Gon does care about people. But again, as Togashi said, Killua was becoming more outwardly caring, and Gon was becoming more selfish and inwardly caring. That's how he wrote the 2 characters. That's why it's so cool. Nice. What do you want to use? Someone call Xavier. You want to look into his mind? He's a super creative guy. Yes. What if a conjured weapon broke? No, you just reconjure it. I mean, it takes X Nen to conjure it. you just conjure it again. But it would take X more Nen to do it. Unless you wanted to put a condition on it where if you broke the weapon, you'd have to make a different one, and or you limit the use. You can make it stronger. Like that's how conjuration, like Karapika shows us the clear example of this. You put conditions on your conjured abilities to make them more powerful. What do you think is the grave news that happened in the last chapter? The grave news? Huh? You mean Ugetsu? Like that it could be a Camilla curse, or it could be the Succession War, or it could be something else. But I mean, having it be Camilla curse, yes, I would love that. I think we need to see Camilla's ability put pressure on the war because it is a well thought out ability. And I think when Togashi added Camilla's ability to the story, he really raised the stakes. Here's the, well, okay, I'm not gonna say a problem. I loved the Phantom Troop flashback. I really did. I really, really, really did. An announcement happened. Oh, on the ship. Frankly, I haven't gone back to read it in several months, so yeah, we'll have to find out. I mean, I'm remembering now, right? A grave announcement. Prince Loserus? No, he's with the mob. I don't know. A queen? Maybe one of the queens got murdered. That would be interesting if one of the queens got taken out, because the queens, they're part of it, but they're not like really part of it, but you could use them as leverage, right? Like, think about it. That would be interesting. One of the queens got off. Oh yeah, this one. Hulkenberg Symbiotic Fellowship. Most to least. Symbiotic Friendship Fellowship. Moraina's Etude of Love. The Ephemeral 10 Seconds. And the Skill Hunter. Well, a fully prepared Skill Hunter with Chrollo's skill behind it is almost unbeatable. So you put Chrollo in a variable tier if you're removing the skill of the user behind it. I mean, Saraidnik can avoid almost anything. And again, Saraidnik is buffed in this arc. I want people to remember something. If Saraidnik was at the palace in the invasion, his ephemeral 10 seconds would only delay his death. He wouldn't be able to do anything. Yuppie, just, one swipe and he's literally cut in half. Like, there's nothing that Saraidnik could do really in the invasion. Nothing. He would be able to move around more like Meleron, but not really, can't really hurt anybody. So again, it's like you can't really hurt these characters, but Skill Hunter, the abilities are really powerful. He has a Nen Beast, which is why, and he's in Zetsu, but he's in a situation where he can reappear, reactivate his Nen Beast, and use very precise Nen, which we know he's super skilled with his Nen control. And so that's why his kind of attacking your future self is very dangerous, because he's able to control his Nen so quickly and use it. But again, he's not damaging high tier characters. The contagion with, again, like Chrollo, this thing on its own, if she's allowed to do this and the Etude virus and the ability spread for years, first of all, is it really her ability? She's protected by her followers, but does that mean anything? The ability kind of just goes. The idea is that it spreads. Like right now, there's a mission, but in the open world, like this thing would just, societies would have like, just random abilities popping up and people killing each other. It would spread mass violence is what it would do. It's terrifying and it's dangerous. Falkenberg's is very powerful with the arrow. Without the arrow, it's completely useless. The Nen from his ability protects him, and the arrow ability is offensive, but without the arrow, none of his followers there's no real way to damage anyone. Once again, there's not really a combative element to the ability. It's all defense and aura, kind of. But if you put the arrow into this idea, he's counting the arrow as part of the ability, then this is one of the strongest combat abilities when it's set up that we've ever seen. It's super powerful. Togashi said unblockable. If you shot this arrow at Meruem, he wouldn't be able to stop it. What? Like, I know Meruem's way too fast, but it was also like you can't block it. Can you dodge it? There are some ambiguous conditions we don't know. Like, can Camilla's cat be countered, or like, can you run away from it? Can you get away from it? Can you dodge the arrow? Is the arrow, or is it just like an unblockable, like it's going to hit you because he's put his intent behind it? Like, we don't fucking know. We don't have any idea. So I think here, most practical with the right skill behind it. In the Succession War, this is really goated, but not in all situations. This is just mass chaos and death. You create followers, but it's like, do you have to really follow you? Could there be an uprising? Like, do they give a shit? Like, you can't kill Morena until you get to level 100, because then you can become the next leader. Until you reach 100, you need to protect Morena so that you can get to level 100. But then once someone does, they become their own Morena. And it's like, all right. It's a weird question. Like, I can't like rank them in all situations. They all have strengths and weaknesses. Frankly, Skill Hunter is the most generally applicable because of how we've seen Chrollo use it. You can just plan for lots of things. So Skill Hunter is number one in practical sense because of you can make the book effective. You can choose the situation and make it really, really stupidly strong. That's my opinion. I'm surprised people aren't saying Skill Hunter. I mean, this is... All right, what's next? Let's see. And how awful were his chances of winning? His chances are pretty shitty. We're talking about what? I don't think... Look, you want to say Sradnik is winning the Succession War? That was the theory, that he's going to kill Wobble, Killer, and make Kurapika go fucking apeshit. And unlock Emperor Universe. All right, fuck your parallel universe. Here comes Emperor Universe. He turns like red, like Kaioken, and he like, he literally can move through time. Like, I don't know, what the fuck is Kurapika going to do? Right? But, yeah. Beating Kurapika, like, wow. You are telling me, like, this is it for him. This is it for Kurapika. If this happens, So Reineke is going to dodge, avoid, and outplay his adversaries until the final conflict. He's going to be the character that never gets caught. He's going to be the character that shows up behind you. He's going to always be one step ahead until he isn't. Just like King Crimson and JoJo. Same, you got to use the inspiration for your mindset. Kite's clown weapon, JRPG, Kite's clown weapon is so OP. Crazy Slots is pretty damn strong. I mean, the Scythe took out a whole squad of ants in one swipe. That's not nothing. I mean, Morel and Nove, they, had to cover a forest and smoke and strategically take the ants into a room for Netero to take out, but Kite just went, yeah. All right. Yeah, there's conditions behind it, but okay. Dude, Kite is strong. I think he's one of the... Look, he scuffed up Pito, who didn't have Nen abilities. We got to remember, this was brand new Pito, who was just kind of... Also, Pito was playing with Kite to see how strong, just like in raw combat, she is. And Kite clearly did something with... We know this because the forest was completely obliterated. Pito didn't have Nen abilities. We know that Kite, something happened. And people say, the angel thing, number 3, his he has a reincarnation form. It's a last-ditch effort when he's injured, kind of like Rising Sun. This is all theory, but it makes a lot of sense. And then when he was killed, his ability allowed him to reincarnate his soul. You also have the ants, and it's thematic. And then Kite said, we both have a lot to learn. If it wasn't intentional, then it was just coincidental. But Pito wasn't using Nen abilities, and the forest was just blasted. Something was used to destroy the whole area. So Kite is one of the elite hunters. He's Jing's apprentice. What does that mean? You're Jing's apprentice. I think Razor is beyond Kite, but it's not like an ocean between them. I think Kite is in the top probably 30 hunters in the 20 to 30 area, or 30-ish. That's pretty damn strong, right? I don't know. It's so well-rounded with a potential power boost because of then after death. Well, that's what, yeah, exactly. Well, see, here's the thing with gamble abilities. I do think with slot, roll, dice, gamble style abilities, the user, if the point of chance is to make the ability stronger, then you can't manipulate random chance, because the point of random chance as a condition is to make the skills themselves more powerful. But if you can add on injury, he was injured by Pito, and that he rolled 3, and Crazy Slot said, you are in real shit. Right? Number 3. Number 3 is the oh shit number. Oh my God. What am I? Number 3. But it requires an injury. That could be one of the conditions for number 3. And number 3 has a 50% chance of rolling, And number 3, again, it's whatever he did. So, I don't know, interesting. Nove's ability is freaking awesome. Let's see what this person has to say. Nove traded 5 entrances, 3 inside. Oh no, we're going. I have to remind myself about this. N dimension exit. Right. Right. Correct. You don't go back out through portal A. Right. 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 Checkpoints, because there were also scenes where the hunter team were more out near the cocoons, and there was times I think as well when they were in there taking a break, if I'm not mistaken. Man, I'm forgetting, but he had different rooms. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I love Kite. I hope he, yeah, right, she now, they, she, whoever, it's a reincarnated female character now. Also, a little play there. People who weren't really keen on this. Pitou is technically an androgynous character, although there have been sources saying that it was always supposed to be a girl, a tomboy girl. But I think, and I think over the 10 years that he wrote the whole saga, it comes back as a female. It's all connected. And then Alluka, officially a trans character. All right. So Togashi really wanted to play with gender near the end of the story. He was like, I'm just gonna have like good time exploring these ideas. And his wife did Sailor Moon, and they've always really been pro gender, expression. They both have been very um, positive about gender identity and affirmation. So it's not surprising that he was exploring those ideas, and it all kind of clumped together. If you notice, like, well, look at Hisoka. He dresses with high heels on. I mean, come on, he likes this stuff. Illumi uses more shampoo than any woman I've ever met. Like, um, maybe Killua can tag. Dude, I want, and I said this years ago, but first of all, I want Jing to become the main hunting hero that we follow at some point. And I want Jing to lead a team to find Dome Freaks. That's it. That's the story I want. Now, who's in that squad? Well, the thing is, Beyond Netero is beyond Jing. Like, Jing's admitted that Beyond is superior. So it would be, frankly, if you look at the story, Gon was never the strongest lead character, but he had his own arc and motivations. If Jing was the new Gon, you could have Beyond replace Netero and some of the stronger people. And it's like, so Jing would have his own frustrations, his own issues with the whole thing, but he would have his own motivations and reasons for going. And that would be entertaining. I would love if Killua went along, but Killua was protecting Alluka. And I don't think Killua was bringing Alluka to the Dark Continent. There ain't no freaking way. Why would Killua bring Alluka there? Unless Nanika, something took over, and the Eye said something or revealed something about needing to go back there to release the curse from Alluka's body. You have to go back to the source, drink something, eat something, free. That's how you could free Alluka. But then you also have something that Killua kind of has a feelings and an emotion towards the entity itself, Nanika. Would he just want to get rid of that entity? It's not clear. Maybe they want to keep Nanika around, and then that would be its own story. But I would love that. Throw them all in. Throw all the characters, throw all the ideas, just throw them all in. Because we got to go big. We got to go big. I mean, I'm having fun on floor one of a damn boat ride with all these nonsense characters that don't mean anything. And I'm like, Rihan, I can't wait for my boy to come back. Rihan, just dialogue diarrhea. Let's go, man. I want to see how crazy you're thinking. I don't care. It's like, this man is the guy in the back of the room. He's like security detail. He's watching every fucking move. I love this having the different types of characters. This is what real life is like. People with different personalities and ways of doing things. That's why it's so entertaining. Yeah, you might think it's a text wall, but it's a type of character in a situation where you could see people doing that. So, it's really cool. All right, JRPG. So here's the thing. My disappointment is how far we're actually going to get at this rate. I do agree with you. A time skip is probably happening. Maybe as the boat sinks, maybe the voyage never makes it. Again, I said like Kurapika and Oito in Castaway 2, Tom Hanks ends up on the island. It could be like they're in a raft. They get to the island and they're like they have a fire and they're like playing with coconuts and shit. There's your story. Castaway 2, Kurapika. That's it. The whole story. The whole story's over. They're trapped on a fucking island. But I think time skip is almost necessary. We might not see the Dark Continent, like really. It could go back to Gon and Meteor City and Gyro. That's the other thing that people have always been theorizing. So Beyond is on the boat, but but remember, like, we don't know, for example, is an air balloon going to come and take Beyond away, and he's like on his own mission? Another boat's going to come. We don't know the real ulterior motive. Like, we know originally it was finding the traitor in the Zodiac, which is Psycho, is the monkey. And he's a traitor. And then it's like, Jing doesn't trust Beyond. Beyond has to be imprisoned on this voyage as a condition through the V6 requirement, but he's not really imprisoned. No one can imprison this guy. So there is a way where everything just goes to shit. I don't know. Be interesting. Again, Togashi. It's not the destination. It's the journey along the way. Exactly what he said. The destination may never even be reached. It's all happening in the boat. That's our story. We will see. I'm going to wrap it up in probably, 15-ish, 10, 15-ish. We'll see how it goes. All right. Explain it to me like I have no idea what you're saying. I don't know what the point of that post was. We'll move on. No offense. Mikasa and Killua? Nice one. Kalgo can take control of any corpse and use its abilities. Yeah, Meruem. Yes, Kalgo could go right now. Calgo could go into that bunker and take control of Meruem, as long as Meruem's, I guess, body is somewhat intact. He could take control of it and I think use his powers. What the hell? What? I would, like, yeah, but there it is. The radiation. There it is. Togashi saved himself from that one. Now, here's an interesting theory. I would hate for this to happen. I'm just like proposing a theory. If Alluka got killed and I was in the body as an entity spirit that fed off of Alluka, would Calgo tap into not the eye spirit? Or would the eye spirit possess Calgo? That's interesting. You saw his name's Adult Gon, and that's how powerful he could become. So, punching freaking buildings over, pretty much. I mean, that's what you could do. Yes. Now we're to peak content right here. This one might be the one I have to end on. Oh. I've been one of the biggest proof defenders. Let's see if this guy says some of the things I've pointed out over the years. Let's see. Now, this isn't to say Shaiya isn't respected at all in terms of power. Airways, enlarge himself. There's one thing that gets overlooked. He can create an army of soldiers. Good freaking, here's what, this is called gas. This is gas, right? Because you got all these power skills. I need proof. I need feats. I need numbers. Yeah. One dinky little soldier. Yes, she was a gifted Nen user, but one Nen user was stronger than Killua. That Killua had Godspeed, power, skill. 64-ton door, and Palm is stronger. One. I like that. I like referencing that. That's really a good point. I usually go with how strong he manipulated a country. There's no character that comes close to manipulating a country. 5 million zombies? And he wasn't tired by exerting that much aura. If Illumi could control, it's not the same degree, I get it. But it's still the idea. 5 million people were hypnotized by him. And it wasn't exhausting at all. Okay. The experiment of serving the memories and emotions was deemed a failure. Poof would have to take a bit more perfecting the process. Right. This is good. This is perfect for the stream. Yes, this is perfect. If anyone here says that Poof loses to Ahsoka or Crollo, please stop. Please. Please. But this is still not really. Yes, but his cells. But how many cells can Poof create? Like that Poof with Killua was barely anything. That was life drained, life essence drained. That was probably 1% of how Poof started the war. That was one to, I'll be generous, 5% of Poof's overall essence remaining from that. And he almost tagged Godspeed Killua. This is just a stupid argument. And the electricity thing, sure. But these cells are made for defensive distractions. The real main Poof at full power, if he had to kill someone, would just off him in one hit. It wouldn't. It's still an ant. Ant physiology, survived the Merriam tail swipe, all of the shit. Well, JRPG, bro, I understand the unpredictability, but it's just the sheer feats, man. It's if Crollo came in with like 2 years of planning and had a miniature Rose in his book and could throw it towards Poof, yeah, he'd beat Poof. Absolutely. But you could say that about any character and just make Crollo that strong. Frankly, I've always thought that if Crollo had like a nuclear button in his book, then it's like he could theoretically have something to that scale. But Togashi doesn't write that way. And it's not real. You know, it's just like Poof attacks Crollo. What? Sorry. The best they're going to do one-on-one, not with a squad or with, you know, the Miliron, like, getting them away. Like, Shoot was defeated in, like, 5 seconds and got away from distractions, but he was defeated. Like, that's what's going to happen, you know, against Yuppie. That's what's going to happen to any hunter that's not Netero or Adult Gon, because that's just what's been displayed. Morel can distract and waste time, but that's about it. Same thing with Crollo. Like, none of the abilities are really gonna do anything, and Poof's just gonna one-shot him. I'm sorry, Poof one-shots anything below Netero level. Like real Poof, not Poof with an agenda, not Poof with a mission. Poof just trying to kill the one shot. It doesn't matter. And yeah. Yeah. One of the smartest characters with a prediction analysis ability too. Dude, people forget this. Pito, I forgot this too, but he actually read Pito's thoughts or intended words. Like, what? What? With a character near Godspeed level, like almost, you know, definitely at full power, he's well within Godspeed, speed feats. The boost to Meruem post Rose with Poof cells, his speed was almost instant. It was almost instant speed. It like tripled his speed. Like Poof's speed is crazy. No one wants to admit that his speed is top tier. No one says that Poof is one of the fastest characters. And he's an ant physically. And he, you know, and he can read your intentions too. That's all I'm going to say about that. But let's go to some of the comments. Oh, the scene is non-canon. It's implied though that he can do something in that way. Yeah, that's right. But bro, no, bro, no, you didn't. Sorry, I love Ahsoka. You didn't watch the fight with. You didn't analyze the fight with Krollo. He can't spam gum like 1,000 strings. He can only do like 5. He's okay. Oh, yeah, he gets like a couple dozen poof clones. They're gonna break that shit, man. Dude, like, no. Also, who could just go back into one of those clones and become far stronger? No, that's not. No. Thank you. Yes. This is the exact point. His durability is so underrated because of the Killua interaction, but nobody analyzes what that poof really is. Right. Right. Wait a minute. He could make new cells from the stuck cells. Dude, he's way more of a problem than people want to admit. That's the problem. Yeah. I mean, human gum hammer, rubber hammer, whatever you want to call it. That was the most gum that Hisoka can intentionally wrap something in, and it get like 10 human bodies. I don't know. It was like something like that, and that's it. That's all he could. He can swing it around like a buzz saw, but that's about it. Like, no. Inigo. Pito's also she did literal brain surgery as a 3-day-old baby. Pito clearly was based on a doctor. Some of the humans that she inherited were doctors, and it was probably an intent by the queen to amass a medic or a kind of a more of a sustainer, a protector. Remember, the queen could kind of like choose the diets of all 3, so they all had like kind of a purpose. And the depiction is that a female cat or female cats are the theme of Pito, like metaphorically, like the guardian mother cat protecting her young. That's like what the whole thing with Komugi. Oh, that's too bad. I have a missing person notice. That's fuck that. I hate hearing stuff like that. It's so sad. I hope that person gets found. Sorry, little. Anyway, the so yeah, that's the sorry, that was just there's enough going on in the world right now. I'm not going to get into the world, but I like to have distractions where we don't have to think about what's actually going on in real life. Back to this. The issue is that we never saw Poof fight anyone at full power. He used Beelzebub and didn't fully rejoin in any and drained his life essence to Meruem before he fought Killua. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Apple Pito. When in doubt, you always can count on Apple Pito. Pito. Apple Pito. Here it is. This man says he's outright faster than Godspeed Killua. I'm just the messenger. But frankly, the speed feats and the feats and the analysis kind of back it up. He's the fastest of the 3 Royal Guards. Pito can charge up the most speed in a straight shot, like a pounce. But he is, like, frankly, the fastest, like, I'll just fly at you and, yeah. I can fly. Let's do that, too. Hello, Barcy. Welcome to the stream. I don't know if you've been here for a bit, but yeah, I'm just going through this topic about Poof being underrated in terms of power. For a long time, I've always been like, people just shit on this character for no reason. And Togashi's done a lot to show why he's still at that high, like, Royal Guard level in that upper echelon of characters. And I like going through, like, looking at topics like this and just seeing what people want to talk about, what they're theorizing, what they're coming up with. He's probably still far above most in combat, but splitting himself up makes him a bit of a chump. They give Pito the gas, everything went to shit when she left. Well, her N was super helpful. Without the N, you got Youpi doing his own thing. You got Poof being a mental wreck. And yeah, Pito was the rock. She was the one who could, like, was not as fazed by the emotions of the situation. Although she got emotional, it was because of the appreciation of what she was doing. His clones were weaker, but also straight up invulnerable to physical attacks. Yeah, but even then, not the main body without the cells being, like, if he knows that there's a opponent, like a fresh Poof walks into a situation, he fights a Killua or a character that has the ability to burn his cells, he just won't use the cells. He'll just one-shot them. Like, basically, like, real Poof will just... That's it. No need for distraction, no need for, diversion and all that. He'll just one-shot you. And there we go. Ranted enough about that. That's because, well, the humans had no cognition. They were all actually, this is when they were all amassed before they got hypnotized. Could be a slight plot hole. I've actually never thought of this one. I never thought about this one. I mean, yeah, Nen users have their pores open so they can feel the Nen. If you don't have your pores open, you can't interact with Aura or Nen, see it, feel it, use it. Once you open your pores, you are exposed to Nen and both putting it out and also feeling and sensing it. So I think that's the answer. That's what I'm going to go with. Maybe they were all just freaking high on shit. Who knows? Like those types of countries, they could drug their people. Who the hell knows? Yeah, I mean, I like the artwork. I'm not usually here to do artwork. Yeah, JoJo Soka. Um, can women fight? All right, bro. All right, bro. Wait. That was earlier in the story when Togashi was writing for a primarily young boys magazine, and he was trying to get this series off the ground. The editors weren't going to have any of it, so they wanted male characters, right? But we saw over time that he explored. Well, Machi was there, and he kind of like hinted at powerful women being in the verse at that moment. Like you had Menshi in the Hunter exam, a couple other female characters there, but not really until Machi did he like really lean into powerful women. Because you just saw this Ahsoka do crazy things, and then Machi's there, and he's like, he respects the hell out of her. So she ain't no joke, right? So people know that. Of course they can fight. Of course. Right, but again, you have to remember what like at the time he was writing that arc, it was like in a boys magazine to try and appeal to young boys in Japan. So I'm not surprised. If you think about it, again, people argue about Pito, but I think all the evidence and there is like that she was female originally intended, or Togashi decided upon that, and there was like translation issues and stuff. But Pito is the strongest female in the. I'm doing this right. Aluka is a boy who identifies as a girl. We're going to call Aluka a girl, and we're going to say that Nanika is a girl. Strongest character by a fucking mile. Hey, Marilyn. Like, as the series went on, my point here, I'm trying to like show as he was introducing women again into a shonen story, it's not as common to have strong female characters, but he started with Machi, and the Phantom Troop had some really strong female representation. Very, very strong. What No, wait a minute. Now we're going down a path here. You have the Zodiac. A couple of them are female. Cheadle, getting some gas, right? Like, I mean, Kiko Zoldyck, Killor's mom must be pretty strong, but no evidence of her actual combat ability. Greed Island, no, I mean, no, not really. Again, it's not surprising. Most in these types of stories, most strong characters are going to be male. It's just how it is. The audience that they're trying to sell to in Japan. But now we get to the current arc. And literally, yes. You want to talk about powerful female characters? I'm sorry. I think Togashi likes bad chicks. I'm telling you. I think you got Biscuit. There, I was like, there's a powerful female. I forget Biscuit, of course. But yeah, Biscuit's like your mentor master character. But I think Togashi likes bad chicks, man. I think he likes women with a little darkness. Palm had her moment in her ant form. Pito being female, if you go that way. I just think the evidence is there. The mother cat analogy. Komugi being strong in a different way. You know, not combat, but stronger mentally, skillfully than Meruem could ever be. Her character's genius because of that. The perfect use of it. But yeah, current arc. Everyone knows I gas Camilla. Everybody knows she's the only character thus far that has introduced us to Kakin history. Kakin is the literal country. The whole idea of the war is about the burial of the other princes to resurrect something in a giant coffin. It could be the original king of Kakin. It could be a calamity. It could be something crazy. But the point is, Camilla is using abilities tied to all of this. She's literally thematically embracing the whole concept of Kakin tradition. And she empowered a group of, impoverished, unmotivated people through like a religious war campaign, like to go out and do these horrible things so they could be honored and recognized. Like the amount of political manipulation. Like Ben is in the military. He has his father's praises. He's the top son. He gets that recognition. Camilla has to represent herself as the top daughter, but she, as far as we know, did this all, like, the military's there. Ben kind of like inherited that, and he took great advantage of it. Don't get me wrong. He orchestrated a really powerful plan to control the military. But Camilla did all this with a group that no one else would have looked at and said, I could use these people. And I could use history, tradition, all this to make them useful. And she clearly studied how to do Nen after death. And clearly she had people probably kill her a bunch to use her ability. Like, when you develop an after death ability, and she's the only character that has full revive to this date. She's the only character with full revive potential that we know of to date. So there's so much gas, so much, like, this is why I put a lot of like fire on this character. Like she gets heat because Ben outsmarted her, but in the grand scheme, that was before we knew about this whole plan. So that's why she was so cocky and confident. She didn't care what happened to her. She got all these people just waiting to do their thing, and it's just in a matter of time. It's like, holy shit. That's why she's so confident. Now, will she win? No. But I think she might undermine Ben or do something in the very end. Because again, because she's so bleak, and because her ability is about not dying, it's almost like maybe she could be convinced to do something good as a sacrifice in the very end. And she will help Kurapika or someone else. I know it sounds crazy, but you could be like, the character that never wants to die or is immortal and has all these things about death is actually going to sacrifice herself to benefit someone else. I think that would make her a goated character because of the whole circle that would be done there, and it would tie into the themes of rebirth, then after death, and the after death sacrifice traditions and ceremonies that Kakin uses. Okay, I've said enough about my girl. I love how Togashi did it, man. Please come back, Togashi, with floor one. Like, really, really get into it, man. I want to see some good stuff happen. Guys, I think I've been on for as much as I can be tonight. I'm going to have this one up on the channel as my new main video. I'm telling you, this is we're trying to wait. Here, I'll leave you with JoJo Soka, I guess. We'll go with JoJo Soka. I bet people like this, teenagers like this stuff, great stuff. Yep. It hurts my back just looking at it. I'm an old man. I can't do stuff like that. There we go. So I'm losing my voice because I've been going on and on all night, and but it was, it's time. I needed to update the channel with something. Again, I don't do videos very often, but I will. I promise. Handful of times a year, maybe, especially when the series comes back, I will do more Hunter x Hunter stuff. But this will be the new channel video, and the new stuff I'll keep up for a while. And yeah, comment on it. Any other ideas? We will persevere and wait until the series comes back. But you know where to come back to when it does. I'll be here to live react to it and enjoy more Hunter x Hunter moments with everyone here. So thank you, and let's just hope that it comes back soon.